matter how wrong yours might be. So I put that aside, and I woke up about 5:30 this morning, and I was reminded about a book I read some time ago entitled The Present. Throughout the book, the author weaves stories about people seeking change, reaching new heights, and being successful at what they are doing. The writer takes us back to yesterday, and we see our strengths and our weaknesses. We begin to realize that we don't work on our strengths, and if we don't strengthen our weaknesses, we will continue to wander aimlessly. The author also says we must plan for the future, using our past experience, not dwelling on them, rather planning for tomorrow while still living in the present. And that was the author's present to us in the book, that we must learn from past experiences, plan for the future, but work in the present. So let it be our resolve, as residents of Irondequoit, to make 2012 the year that we are truly proud to be part of the jewel of Monroe County, Irondequoit, New York. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. I'd like to now take time to introduce our elected officials, our county executive for our third term, Maggie Brooks. Maggie, welcome. Our county legislators, Vincent Esposito and Mr. Ted O'Brien. With us today is Supreme Court Judge Al Renzi. I'd also like to introduce Deborah Yesley, our board member, Debbie, and Paul Marasco, our board member. Now to give our invocation is Steve Butcher. Steve is the founder and director of Amazon River Churches and Hess International Missions Org. He has overseen the construction of 5 churches in the Amazon River. He currently oversees orphanage projects in Ethiopia and Malawi, and has been instrumental in the construction of a church in Uganda. Steve is an attorney. He and his wife Diana live in Irondequoit. They have 3 living children, all daughters. Steve's son, as a member of the military, made the ultimate sacrifice in the Iraq War. Steve.
Thank you very much. When you were saying the Pledge of Allegiance, I was struck by the first time that I ever said the Pledge of Allegiance was St. Cecilia's over on Culver Road. So Irondequoit has been our home on and off for many years, and if anybody ever asked me what my hometown is, I would have to answer Irondequoit. It's where I feel most comfortable. When I was asked to do this, and I am honored to do this, the first thing that came to my mind was the book of Romans, chapter 13, where Paul is talking about civil authority and how civil authority should be always obeyed, that proper honor, respect, and obedience should be given to the members of the elite that rule the other classes. But many people over the centuries have gotten it wrong in that they understood this to give them some sort of carte blanche power over people. And a careful reading of the verses will otherwise tell us that this authority and this high office is there because they are designated as servants of the Most High God. The true point is that, so that, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you are perhaps elected and or appointed to your office by people, but you are truly appointed by God. Father God, I petition you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ to make these words I have spoken just now real to these your servants. May your Spirit always be present in their hearts to keep them empathetic to the plights of your people. When they are forced to judge between competing equities, may they be granted wisdom. When they have to plan the future of their town, may they be granted foresight. May they be reminded always that the final understanding of what is right and what is wrong is to be seen through your eyes and not through the lens of what is popular nor expedient. Give them the courage to do what is right without considering the outcome of their next election or the opiate of power. May they abhor the use of power for self-gain and give them the strength to fight against those who serve only to serve themselves. May they never be inflated with the idolatry of self-importance. May they seek vulnerable accessibility and the transparency rather than the aloofness of the elite. May they be careful to hold the precious truth of their words and actions with as much care as they would their firstborn. May they punish the wrongdoer fairly and not for revenge but for justice alone, which should be tempered whenever possible with mercy. May they use the coercive power of their office sparingly and as gently as possible as they would with their own family. May they treat the town's physical and financial resources as a sacred trust for the benefit of the people. Please give them the intelligence and insight when deciding how to budget the people's money. May this chamber and this building be seen by the people as a temple of righteousness in both word and deed. May these your servants be truly and rightly honored by the people as dedicated men and women who have taken their oaths of office with gravity and soberness. And finally, Lord, may all the people of the town of Irondequoit have a well-deserved pride in their leaders and in their town. Amen.
Now what we'd like to do is have Councilman John Porticone come front and center, and he will be sworn in by Vinny Esposito, accompanied by his mother, Antoinette Porticone.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, John Porticone,
I, John Porticone,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of town board member
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of town board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Happy New Year, everyone, and what a long road this has been. Anyone who's run for public office knows that it takes a lot of hard work and a great deal of commitment. The second time around, it was no different, but it was much more rewarding personally for me. And like all campaigns, there are plenty of thank yous to go around. First of all, I'd like to thank Michelle and my immediate family, my mother, my sister Annette, my niece Kelly, and my nephew Dominic for their continued support throughout this campaign. Joe Morelli and the staff at MCDC, and a special thank you to Vince Esposito, Ted O'Brien, Ray McDonald for their support and assistance during the campaign. And a big thank you to those people who believed in bipartisanship. We are proud to get support from Democrats as well as Republicans. Whether it's in government or your day-to-day lives, working together accomplishes much more. My biggest thank you goes out to my running mates, Mary Joyce and Stephanie. I was glad through all this campaign that they were both on my side. Two very strong-willed women that did not let outside distractions interrupt what we wanted to accomplish, that is people working together to better our community. The biggest assistance they gave me was more doors do get answered when you're standing there with two women next to you. 4 years ago, my love for the town of Arundequoit drove me to seek elected office at Town Hall. 4 years later, I found myself running for re-election, not only because of the love I have for the place I've called my home all my life, but also a concern for the future. And while I might not be an A student in the eyes of all Arundequoit residents, or even a D for that matter, I am proud to have earned a passing grade from those whose opinion matters most to me, the citizens of Arundequoit. I am honored to have been once again re-elected by so many people whom I've known for many years and by some great people who I've never met. I'm re-energized, and my experience on the board has taught me I may not be able to please everyone all the time. I will listen to all your concerns and share everyone's love and commitment to our town. Through it all, it has been very fortunate to witness committed employees, committed volunteers on all the various boards of our town, and the residents of our community who are all share a common vision to see our community prosper and move into a positive direction. In accepting another 4 years on the town board, I'm affirming as long as I sit on the board, the concept of political party is irrelevant. Thank you so very much, and God bless all in this wonderful town. Happy New Year.
Before we introduce the next person to be sworn in, Judge Joe Valentino, I apologize for not recognizing you as we did the introductions. Welcome, and thank you for serving Arundequoit. Councilwoman Stephanie Owsley, she's going to be sworn in by Ted O'Brien. Steph?
Superior Court Judge Price is going to hold the Bible while I administer the oath to Councilwoman Aldersley. Because we've done this a few times over the years, so you might know it without the script, but I'm going to help you. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Stephanie Aldersley,
I, Stephanie Aldersley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Town Board Member
of Town Board Member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank so many people. First, the public for their support, but also everybody who helped in this hard-fought campaign. To my running mates, especially John and Mary Joyce, thank you for putting the town ahead of politics. I look forward to continue working with both of you and also with Debbie Esley and Paul Morosco. To Vinnie Esposito and Ted O'Brien, thank you for your leadership and support. To Democratic Chairman Joe Morelli and Republican Chairman Bill Rylick, thank you for your support. To the staff at MCDC, Adam Bello, Nicole Malik, and all the gang, thank you. To the Kirstein family and to Ray McDonald and the Arundequoit Democratic Committee, thank you. To Nancy Savoy and Karen Seeley, thank you, thank you, thank you. To all the people of both parties who put aside politics for the good of the town, again, thank you. And finally, to my wonderful family, to my dad who's watching over me now, and to my kids, Ian and his beautiful girlfriend Mary, Jenny and her wonderful husband John, and their two great kids, Cole and Miles, and to Jordan Aldersley, the greatest. Thank you for walking districts, dropping literature, and the whole 9 yards. Some folks are embarrassed to be thanked publicly, and you know who you are, but thank you so much anyway. We all love this town, so let's get to work. Happy New Year.
2 years ago, I was chairman of the Republican Committee and met Mary Joyce, and we said that fresh, new leadership was coming into the town of Irondequoit, and she has proved us right. So now, without further ado, Supervisor Mary Joyce, would you come forward with Maggie Brooks as you're sworn in for your second term?
He's coming reluctantly today.
He never does anything.
Before we do this, I just want to take an executive privilege here and say it's an honor to administer the oath of office to this incredibly talented woman. I am from Irondequoit. This is my hometown as well, and I am so very, very proud of her leadership. I respect your vision. And what I love most about her is what has already been said, that Mary Joyce has laid out a strategic plan to move the town forward, and the foundation of implementing that plan is working together in collaboration. So congratulations on all that you've accomplished. Thank you very much. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Mary Joyce DeRizio,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of supervisor
the office of the supervisor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
I was looking at my poor Bible from, think I received this when I was 13 years old, and you can see it's been quite well worn. Normally, I am not nervous to speak in front of a group, but today I am, and I have written and rewritten the speech, trying to keep out the I's, the me's, and the my's, and being the very non-political person that I am, trying to keep that out of my words for today. What I would like to say is, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today and lending your support to all of us gathered in this new year. It has been a privilege and an honor to serve the residents of Irondequoit in a job and the work that are not taken lightly. I never imagined my career path would lead me to this role. I am proud to follow in the footsteps of others in helping to shape our town and its future. It is a humbling responsibility that requires vision, leadership, courage, and compromise. You have witnessed my strong work ethic, my patience, ideals, and affection for Irondequoit. My faith and the tenets of truth, consistency, and continuity are important. We boast of the greatness of our town, and we have managed town affairs through some extremely difficult circumstances. I personally shall always stand tall knowing I treated everyone with respect, fairness, and compassion. We are a team of residents, employees, and businesses. We are here for the greater good as we seek those services essential for the quality of life in Irondequoit. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to department heads who tirelessly provide round-the-clock services for good government. And as I say your names, if you would stand, I would appreciate it. Annie Seeley, Barbara Janier, Beth Watrow, Irene Schmiegel, Jeff Hands, Larry Heininger, Patrick Meredith, Peter O'Brien, Chief Boyan, Terry Buford, Terry Hughesby, and downstairs, Nate Stone. I thank you very much. I am grateful for the counsel of David Kresak and his team of attorneys at Harder Seacrest Emery in providing the complex legal services. Special thanks to Deputy Town Attorney Daniel Orelli, who provides counsel on planning and zoning matters. Also, the greatest gratitude is extended to all employees who perform their responsibilities with professionalism and dedication. I wish to recognize Linda Mosley, Ann Doler, and Michelle Nichols, who answer numerous phone calls and take messages for me. In my commitment to keep government smaller and more efficient, the extra responsibilities assumed by these women and many other town employees demonstrate their support of me, taxpayers, and all of the residents. Thank you. Two of our priorities have been strengthening the financial health of the town and creating a positive climate for customer service. In spite of a difficult economy, we are building our fund balances, improving our credit worthiness, and planning for the future. A positive environment increases productivity. Unfortunately, however, we cannot always predict human behavior or prevent bad choices. But we do recognize those who demonstrate positive actions, and we never hesitate to take action when actions disappoint us. However, residents can be confident that town government is taking proactive measures to educate our workforce on ethics, workplace safety, job performance, and instill a culture of compliance and competence to avoid violations of your trust. We are one town with a strong foundation for the future. But that future is dependent upon our ability to work together to address the issues that affect us all. Whether the issue is providing stable property taxes, protecting our environment, investing in public works and public safety, or enhancing our already first-class quality of life, we must all take on these challenges side by side in a positive manner. Thank you to the other public officials here today. Those who serve the public make personal sacrifices to achieve the greater good. I am fortunate to work closely with my conscientious fellow board members who understand the importance of good government. Deborah, Stephanie, Paul, John. Almost sounds like the Beatles. Thank you for your support and working together objectively in the best interest of Irondequoit. We are one town, old, young, middle-aged, male, female, Republican, Democrat, conservative, independent. These words are labels and do not affect the responsibility to provide essential town government services, the dignity of humanity, and prosperity for the residents. Thank you to those who have participated in the ceremony this morning. Special thanks to Peter, to Rob, and Steve. Thank you to Frank for being my wonderful husband, friend, and confidant. Thank you to the female role models who lead in the face of adversity and or personal struggles. To the residents of Irondequoit, I owe you my sincerest and deepest gratitude for your support and confidence. Together, we can make the enrichment of town life our shared purpose. And only together can we prove to generations to come that the status quo is not an option, change is necessary, and solutions based on facts must be realized for the challenges we face. May the fruits of the Spirit reside in all of us, and may we live in unity. Thank you, and take care in all that matters.
If our new town justice, Patrick Kevin Rusi, would come forward with Supreme County Court Judge Alec Renzi to be sworn in. And the children and
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Patrick K. Russey,
I, Patrick K. Russey,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and faithfully discharge my duties
and faithfully discharge my duties
as a Arundecoyt Town Justice
as a Arundecoyt Town Justice
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
I'm last. You know what they say about going last. Be brief.
Save the best.
First, I want to thank Judge Renzi for taking part of his day to be here today to administer the oath. I don't even think Judge Renzi realized this till I said it about 10 days ago, but I think I've tried more cases with Judge Renzi over the last 5 or 6 years than any other individual judge in the county. So, and I've known him for a long time. I respect him very much. So thank you again, Judge Renzi. I just want to thank everybody who supported me over really the last 2 years, and it's been quite a journey. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be standing here today. First, I have to thank my family, my wife, Junan, my children, Julia, Lauren, Jack, and Amanda. Without them, without their sacrifice, their love, and understanding, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be anywhere without them. So, thank you. There are so many people who truly helped me, helped my family to make this happen over the course of the last 2 years. And I'm not going to be able to thank everybody by name, but I just want to recognize a few other people, obviously. My parents, Art and Peg Russey, are here. My brother Mike, who's in from California, luckily got to be here today for that. Junan's family, they're my family. They have been even before we got married. So my mother-in-law, Donna O'Neill, my brother-in-law, Mike, his family, my sister-in-law, Lisa Soprano, and her family as well, Kathy and Peter Van Heist, Dr. Russell and Jen Gugino, who have been my ardent supporters right from the very beginning. Some special friends I want to mention, specifically Rich Plukas, who is he's been my treasurer, I guess, for my campaigns, but he's been much more than that. He's been someone who I could always go to for advice, and he's never been wrong, and more than anything, he's been a great friend to me. So thank you, Rich. To really Vince and Cheryl Donalfo, who have always been behind me when I started. Vince has almost been my mentor. Having been involved in his campaigns as a friend when he ran for town justice in Arundecoyt himself, and it's kind of ironic. I'm now in a position he held. So to the Donalfos, I'm always indebted and grateful. To some of our other friends, John Platnick and Amy Platnick, who are here today, thank you for all your help in helping me get here. To Tony and Patty DiBiase, all of our friends that have helped us through the years. I want to thank the voters and everyone, again, who supported me in this journey. I want to thank Mary Joyce DeRizio and the town board for the chance to be appointed and to get appointed and then run for this office this past year. Thank you for your confidence in my credentials and my ability to do this job. We have one of the best court staffs in the county, second to none. I was hearing that, I knew that as a practitioner, but I also heard that from other attorneys. We always would say that about Irondequoit. And now, having served for the last 6 months in the capacity as a judge, boy, it couldn't be truer. We have a staff second to none, accommodating to the attorneys, just great to the judges. They're our backbone, so thank you, all of you. I want to say a quick word about the other judges I serve with. Judge Valentino, who's here, good morning, and Judge Janier. I knew both of them before I took the bench, obviously. But boy, I got to say, we do, I think, work pretty well together. I can count on them if I need anything covered, and I think they feel the same way about me. And we've got a very good relationship, and we talk about what we're doing. You know, sometimes we need to hear from another judge. You know, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I got this issue. And we work very well together, and we're very committed to serving this town as a group and doing the right things and following the law like a judge should. I'm just honored and proud to serve Irondequoit as your town justice for the next 4 years. And I want to leave you with just a little story that a client of mine said to me recently. I was consulting with him before court, and someone came by in the Hall of Justice, a court deputy, and congratulated me. And the client said, what's going on? I said, oh, and the deputy told him that I had been elected town judge. And he said to me, he's like, well, congratulations. He said, but remember, he said, we all are judged, and you'll be judged too. And I want to let everyone know I'm very mindful of that. This is not a job I take lightly. And I give you my commitment that as a judge, I will follow the law. But in those circumstances where the law does afford discretion at various times during a case, which it does, I pray and I promise to use that discretion wisely and to do what I can to help people and to do the right thing for everybody. So again, I want to thank everybody who supported me, and thank you all for being here today.
Prior to the benediction, if the town board would like to take their seats, that way we'll prevent the mass exoduses. And I also would like to say there was refreshments after the town board meeting. Mike Valenti, who is the chair, and Tim Quinlan, the co-chair of the Republican Committee, have made some refreshments available after the meeting, and we thank him for that. And before I introduce Robert Mattes, I would like to just leave you a thought, because I think after the benediction, a thought is not necessary. But change makes people perfect or better. And if you look at the word, I'm sorry, change makes people perfect or bitter. If you look at the word better, you see an E, concerns everyone. If you look at the word bitter, it has an I in it. So let's work for change for all concerned. And now our benediction by Robert Mattes. Rob is the pastor of Gates of Zion Christian Fellowship. He and his wife Barb live in Irondequoit. They have 4 children, 13 grandchildren. He has been a math teacher for 37 years, teaching 7th grade through the junior college. Robert.
Good morning. Congratulations to all of you who have been sworn in, and thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to close this ceremony. Before I pray, I would like to share some thoughts with you this morning. Before I became a pastor, as Peter said, I was a math teacher for 37 years, so I have always been fascinated with numbers. As a pastor, I have studied the spiritual significance of numbers. The number 12 means government. The number 11 is transition. Having left 2011 and now entering 2012, I believe we are moving from a time of transition into a time of government. The number of people that I have spoken to in the last 12 months who felt that they have been in the middle of some form of transition is astounding. If you are one of those people, take heart. You are not alone. If this is a year of government, I would like to share with you two scriptures. First is from the book of Isaiah. God says, I will give or restore judges, rulers, and advisors among you, just like you had long ago. Then you will be called the city of righteousness and a faithful city. Here God promises blessings if you will heed his commandments. The second is from 2 Samuel chapter 23. It says, he who rules over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God. This passage is almost self-explanatory. To those of you who are judges, board members, department heads, committee chairmen, I stand here today to say that the blessing of God to the town of Irondequoit depends heavily upon you. In the book of Luke, Jesus says that on the day of judgment, towns and regions will be judged. For 2 years now, I have been given an assignment from the Lord to pray for this town and to get others who have a similar heart to pray for Irondequoit. Last week, I sent a message to those intercessors giving them specific guidelines on how to get a running start into this year of government. Each of you in the leadership of Irondequoit has been a focus of prayer at some time over the last 2 years by these prayer warriors. Our intent is to see the town receive the blessing of God. In May of this year, my wife and I went to a pastor's briefing in Washington, D.C. A senator and 2 congressmen were among those who addressed us. The senator says that we have reached the tipping point of this country. If things don't change by the end of 2012, we may lose this country as we have known it. Spiritually, I find it interesting that as we enter into the year 2012, the year of government, that we are at a crisis point in the modern history of our nation. These are serious times when the global economy seems to be hanging on by just a thread. I have learned enough in the last 2 years about government that I applaud all of you who are taking this responsibility and the stress that goes along with it. Most people do not have a clue what your job really entails. Most people want it yesterday and don't want to be inconvenienced. God bless all of you. It is, however, critical that all of you heed the words of God. I pray that as we enter into the year of government, that you will receive the wisdom of God. Let us pray. Father, we acknowledge that we are blessed and that we have fallen short of being grateful for all that you have given us. We realize that our forefathers have sinned and ask you for mercy on this town. Father, I pray that these elected officials would measure their words, that their leadership would be characterized by humility, faithfulness, and compassion, and that they would be righteous stewards of their authority, possessing the fear of God. Father, I pray that they would seek divine truth and wisdom, that as they enter into a year of government, that these will provide sound leadership in these uncertain times. I declare that you will strengthen them as they take on their daily responsibilities and that they will maintain good health throughout their tenure. Father, I ask that on their behalf for understanding as to how to wisely use their time and to meet all the demands of their life. Father, I ask for a spirit of unity as they work to improve our town, that the spirit of cooperation would reign in their hearts and minds, and that they might lay down their personal agendas for the good of the town. Most importantly, I pray that they would recognize that the government of heaven is the ultimate authority, and that they would ask for wisdom and strategy, and that you would respond to them. I pray that these elected officials and positions would not cause a strain on their families, and I declare that their families would be strengthened by you as they are released into these elected duties. And finally, Lord, we ask for the abundant life to overflow in the streets of our town. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you for coming, and Mary Joyce.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Roll call. Councilwoman Aldersley.
Here.
Councilwoman Esley.
Present.
Councilman Marosco. Councilman Perticone.
Here.
Supervisor DeRizio.
Here.
And Attorney for the Town, Krisak.
Here.
Thank you. Items for board action. 1, ORG 2012-1, appointing the town clerk.
So moved. Oh, I'll second. And let me read that for you. The town deems it necessary to the organized function and functioning of the town, and the law mandates at an organizational meeting to be held, that all town board members and all town officers shall take and subscribe before an officer authorized by law to administer oaths on the county for the constitutional oath of office and such oaths as may be required by law, which shall be administered and certified by the officer taking the same without compensation, and within 8 days be filed in the office of the town clerk and Monroe County Clerk. And be it resolved that the town board of the town of Arundecoit approves the appointment of Barbara Janier, town clerk, 2-year term, resolution to take effect immediately. Any discussion?
I'd like to be an additional second on that one.
Okay, thank you. Hearing no further discussion, let us vote on this resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Congratulations, Barbara.
While she gets a little composure, I just want to give a hearty, hearty congratulations. This woman works harder than any of you can imagine. She's tireless, she's kind-hearted, she's patient. People come into the office in every way, shape, and form emotionally, and I've never seen anybody with such composure and dignity. She treats every single person with respect. We're honored to have you.
Oh, dear. Let me see. 1, ORG 2012-2, appointing Commissioner of Public Works Highway Superintendent for the town.
Motion?
Move.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Now therefore be it resolved that all town board members and all town officers shall subscribe to what I said in the first resolution. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Arundecoit approves the appointment of Patrick Meredith, Commissioner of Public Works, Highway Superintendent, for a 2-year term, and this shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Any discussion?
I could say the same thing about Patrick that I just said about Barbara. So ditto.
Thank you. Hearing no further discussion, let us vote. All those in favor of this resolution signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Patrick, would you like to stand? Congratulations to you. And may you keep the forecast at bay that we've been hearing about. Thank you.
Item 1, ORG 2012-3, appointing attorney for the town.
Moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. It is necessary for the town board to appoint a qualified attorney or legal firm as attorney to the town to represent the town in its legal matters. And whereas the firm of Harder Seacrest Emery LLP has been selected and funding for the legal services have been included in the 2012 budget of the attorney for the town, now therefore be it resolved that Harder Seacrest and Emery LLP is appointed as the attorney to the town. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Any discussion?
Does David come along with this resolution?
We hope so. Dave was also recognized as one of the outstanding attorneys in the region for municipal law, labor negotiations, and so forth. So we're really proud to have him and his legal team at Harder Seacrest. Let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Congratulations, David.
Item 1 Org 2012-4, appointing attorney for Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals.
Moved.
Second.
Second.
It is necessary for the town board to appoint a qualified attorney or legal firm for planning and zoning to represent the town in legal matters pertaining to planning and zoning. Whereas Daniel Orelli has been selected, and whereas funding for legal services has been included in the 2012 budget, now therefore be it resolved that Daniel Orelli is appointed town attorney for planning and zoning. The resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Any discussion?
It's a joy to watch Dan do his job. He clearly enjoys it so much and works so hard. Thanks, Dan.
Hearing no further discussion, let us vote on this resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Dan, if you'd like to stand and be recognized.
Item 1 Org 2012-5, appointing a town historian.
Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Second.
The town deems it necessary to appoint a historian for the town, and be it resolved that the town board of the town of Arundecoit approve the appointment of Patricia Wayne, town historian, for a 2-year term. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Any discussion?
Just a joy to have her. She's a real jewel.
She is Miss Arundecoit and definitely a historian, that's for sure. Hearing no further discussion, let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
1 Org 2012-6, appointing bingo inspector for the town.
Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Be it resolved that we, the town board of the town of Arundecoit, approve the appointment of Christine Pagoda, bingo inspector, for a 2-year term. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Any other discussion?
Same. It's the same.
It's an interesting position. Hearing no further discussion, let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Chris is in this audience.
Oh, she is. Where are you, Christine? There you are. Thank you. I didn't see you come in. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome. 1 Org 2012-7, filling zoning board of appeals vacancy.
Motion. I'll move it. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Whereas the term of J. Russell Thomas of the Zoning Board of Appeals expired December 31st, 2011, whereas the town board desires to reappoint J. Russell Thomas for a term of 7 years, and now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Arundecoit approve the following appointment of J. Russell Thomas, zoning board member, term expiring December 31st, 2008. The resolution takes effect upon its adoption. Any discussion?
Madam Supervisor, I am going to abstain from this vote. I don't feel like I have enough information. I know he's a seated zoning board member, but I haven't had a chance that we got the packet late on a holiday weekend, so I don't have a resume or anything, so I'm just going to abstain from this vote. I don't feel like I have enough information to vote.
Okay.
I'd just like to say I've known Russ for many years, and he's served the town in many ways, not least as band leader and now orchestra leader, and taught all our children music, and just takes a keen interest in the life of the town. I think he does a great job.
I actually served with Russ on the zoning board, and I can't think of a more fair gentleman. One of the concerns I do have, as I see we're reappointing people to different boards, and my only concern is that we're not giving people an opportunity who have never volunteered that opportunity. And in fact, that's how I got involved and actually ended up here. Supervisor Heyman had an article in the Post looking for zoning board members, and I applied blindly and had an opportunity. People who do want to volunteer is excellent, and Russ and the other nominees are great people. I have a concern that we're not opening it up enough to people who have never volunteered. And I don't know if that we can have that opportunity and maybe discuss it further.
Okay. Well, having received only his application, having consulted with the zoning board and the attorney for the zoning board, I made that decision. Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against? And abstentions.
I'm going to abstain. Thank you.
So 3 yes, 2 abstentions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 1org, 2012-8, filling a planning board vacancy.
Motion.
Moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Whereas the term for Jay Ritchie as planning board member expired on December 31st, 2011, and whereas the town board desires to fill this vacancy by reappointing Jay Ritchie to a term which expires December 31st, 2018, and now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Arundecoit approve the following reappointment: Jay Ritchie, planning board member, term expiring December 31st, 2018. This resolution to take effect immediately upon its adoption. Discussion.
I'm going to abstain for the same reasons. It's a 7-year term, and that concerns me, that I just don't feel like I can vote with full knowledge. So I'm going to abstain on this one, too. It's nothing personal about the candidate whatsoever. It's my own conscience.
Well, I believe, my opinion, Jay's been on the planning board, and I believe we are in some real issues coming up, and I believe a seated planning board member right now is in the best interest of the town. I don't think right now we should start someone brand new. I think if the planning board and the chairman all feel Jay's the guy to stay there, and he works with them as a team and works with this town going forward, I mean, I don't have a problem at all keeping a planning board member seated that's been there before. I think we all know what the planning board's doing right now. They're in the middle of a lot of stuff, and I think the experience and someone that's being seated there that's involved in the situations that's going on in the town is the best person for the job.
In this position, I talked to almost every planning board member. Some of them I called 2 and 3 times. I consulted with Deputy Town Attorney Dan Arelli as we look at many of the issues facing this town, and one of my strongest beliefs has always been that you must always appoint, work with, support those who are the brightest, the most talented, and the most experienced, especially when we face many challenges.
Madam Supervisor, I think we're fortunate to have people who want to continue on these boards. I had the privilege of serving with Jay in the county legislature. I know him to be bright and dedicated and articulate, and I don't think we could have a finer planning board member, and I strongly support him.
Okay. Anyone else? Paul?
I just have the same objections, nothing about Jay. Again, it's brought to us without anyone else having an opportunity as far as I know. And I know a lot of people, young people, old people who have never served, who would like to be considered. Maybe they won't get it. At least they'll get their foot in the door to try to get involved with the town. And that's my concern. So
Okay.
I'm going to abstain for the same reasons.
Okay, thank you. And again, we did have other applicants for this position, but after my being a consensus builder and consulting with those individuals who have to work most closely with the issues. That's, I ask for your adoption of this resolution. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions?
Abstain?
Thank you.
Item 1org 2012-9, approving the regular town board meeting and workshop dates.
Moved.
Second.
Second?
Thanks you. The 2012 Town Board meeting schedule for the regular Town Board meetings and workshop meetings have been submitted by the Town Clerk's Office for approval by the Town Board, and now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board approve the 2012 regular Town Board and workshop meeting schedule as follows. The resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption, and I want to double-check with Mrs. Janier. Our workshop meetings are all on Wednesdays for this year at 4 o'clock. If we do have to change them for whatever reason, there will be a significant notice given. But it seems to help us in avoiding parking issues, particularly with the farmers market on Thursdays. And regular town board meetings are usually the third Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Except for January, it will be January 24th. Any discussion? Hearing none, let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
1org 2012-10, bonding all town officers.
So moved?
Second.
The town law mandates an organizational meeting to be held, and that Public Officers Law subsection 11-2 provides that the town board may approve the procurement of blanket undertaking forming any duly authorized corporate surety covering the officers, clerks, and employees of the town. The town board of the town of Arundecoit approves the bonding of town officers. This resolution to take effect immediately upon its adoption. Probably no room for discussion with law.
No.
Hearing none, let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11, designating the Messenger Post as the official town newspaper.
Moved.
And a second, please. I'll second it. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Arundecoit approve designating the Messenger Post as the official town newspaper. This resolution take effect immediately upon its adoption. Discussion.
I had a little concern, but you talked over the lawyer with it,
Yes.
and we're sure that that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, great. We love the Messenger Post, I just wanted to be sure we could do it.
Any other discussion? And of course, as situations arise, we also use the Rochester Business Journal and the Daily Record. So, no further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 12, authorizing town clerk or deputy town clerk to open competitive bids of public works and purchase contracts required to be advertised.
Moved.
Second.
A second?
Thank you. The town board of the town of Arundecoit approves authorizing the town clerk or the deputy town clerk to open competitive bids of public works and purchase contracts required to be advertised. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 13, filling a library board of trustees vacancy.
Motion?
Moved.
Second. I'll second. Thank you. And a vacancy would be created by the expiration of the term of Mary Ellen Jones of December 31st, 2011. It has happened. And the town board desires to fill this vacancy by reappointing Mary Ellen Jones as a member of the Arundecoit Library Board of Trustees, and that this appointment will expire December 31st, 2016. The town board of the town of Arundecoit hereby approves the appointment of Mary Ellen Jones to the Arundecoit Public Library Board of Trustees, term expiring December 31st, 2016. The resolution takes effect immediately upon its adoption. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, I should have asked for discussion, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Abstentions?
I'm going to abstain. Mary Ellen Jones has an impeccable reputation, and I support her as a person, but I have to remain consistent, and I don't have any resumes, and I haven't been able to thoroughly investigate this. So although she certainly has served the library board admirably, I've got to remain consistent.
There was a vacancy on the library board this year. Obviously, we were going to appoint a new person with a vacancy. As far as Mary Ellen's concerned, again, I'm staying status quo as well. And same thing with Elaine Cole, who's up next. They're two very dedicated people on these boards.
Absolutely.
If they want to stay on, I think by all means they should be staying on. And there was a vacancy. I don't know how many people tried for the vacancy, the new position there, but there was one vacancy. Someone did not want to up again for the next 5-year term. But to leave Mary Ellen Jones and Elaine Cole on the board, I'm in full support of it.
On this one, I did see an ad in the Post. Stephanie, are you back there? Did you get replies to the ad that was placed? Okay. Okay, so they went to the supervisor, not to the board? Okay, so you did have a discussion and vetted that process? Okay.
I think we're so fortunate to have a former senator on our library board, a woman who has been absolutely dedicated to the town in so very many ways, and serves the library with dedication and insight and intelligence and knowledge and thoughtfulness. And I support Mary Ellen very, very strongly.
Again, interestingly, I had only 2 other individuals talk to me about the library board position, and one individual indicated that she was not interested, and the other one is going to be looking at the foundation or Friends of the Library as a means of support for the library. Any other discussion? All right. Hearing none, let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And abstentions.
I'm going to abstain.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Item 14, filling Library Board of Trustees vacancy.
Moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. And this one is to fill a vacancy that was created by Elaine Cole, and reappointing Elaine Cole as a member of the Arundecoit Public Library Board of Trustees with a term to expire December 31st, 2016, and that the town board approves of this appointment taking effect immediately upon its adoption. And discussion?
I'd just like to say that Ms. Elaine has served the town admirably in this role, and I'm glad she's willing to continue.
As a sidebar, too, I do consult with the library board and the director of the library because it's important for people who work well together. Any other discussion? Okay. Hearing none, let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And abstentions.
I'm going to abstain. Thank you.
Thank you.
Respectfully.
Motion carries.
Item 15, filling a Library Board of Trustees vacancy.
Moved.
And a second, please. I'll second it. The town board desires to fill this vacancy by appointing Jack Harima as a member of the Arundecoit Public Library Board of Trustees with an appointment that would expire December 31st, 2016. Jack would be new to this board, and I would ask for your approval of this resolution, and it's taking effect immediately upon its adoption. Jack is well known throughout the community, having been a businessman and a very deep passion for the future of the town of Arundecoit.
I'm delighted that Mr. Harima is willing to step up to this position. He's, once again, a person who's contributed to the town in so many ways and has so many resources and so much thoughtfulness at his command. So we're very fortunate in this town to have an excellent person like this who's willing to do this job.
And one of the things that when I meet with young people, I constantly ask them to consider serving in the public eye, to consider being on boards. And with this plea that I ask more young people to step forward.
And certainly Mr. Harima's, again, reputation is impeccable and an outstanding member of the community. But I just would have liked a resume or a little more data on this, just because I'm a stick in the mud.
I think probably, and maybe Mrs. Quinlan can check on this, that from now on, perhaps the way our ads are written, that it says more than just a letter of interest. Okay, any other discussion? All right, hearing none, let us vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And abstentions.
Abstain.
4 yes and 1 abstention.
Respectfully.
Motion carries. Thanks, Deborah.
Item 16, filling Conservation Board vacancy.
Motion
Moved.
and a second.
Second.
Thank you. The Town Board desires to reappoint Mr. David Long, Ms. Kimmy Romeo, Mr. James Compitello, Mr. Charles Valeska, Mr. Jack Kaufman, and Mr. Steve Grieve as members to serve until the term's expiration, which is December 31st, 2013. And now therefore be it resolved that all of those individuals be appointed to the Conservation Board with terms expiring December 31st, 2013, and this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. All of these individuals have been serving on the Conservation Board. I discussed with Karen Ferris, who has been the Conservation Board chairman, and she highly recommended that these individuals be reappointed. Town code does indicate that we need to have 9 board members, but for the time being, we only have 6, and hopefully other individuals will let us know of their interest to serve on the Conservation Board. Any discussion or anything?
So there are current, three seats are currently vacant and are open for. So we would encourage people to submit a resume. We'd love to have you.
That's right. Hearing no further discussion, let us vote. All those in favor of these appointments signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And unless anyone else has something to say for the greater good of this body, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, and we are adjourned. Thank you. Yes, time for refreshments. And I love seeing men who...
We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Arundecoit Town Board on ICAT 12, Arundecoit's government access channel.